Welcome back to the Dragon's Lair, everybody. My name is Wade. This is my show, Let's Talk, where we talk about Warhammer 40k. We're talking about Tyranids. I'm getting to the end of this series. It's been a long time coming. And we're kind of in the models now that I don't use very often. So, for example, I do not use the Toxicrene or Toxicrene, how I hear people say it different ways. Anyways, it's not that I think that the Toxicrene is bad. I don't own one, and B, I don't use one. I don't have a desire to use one, but I'll tell you a little bit about why. So it's a monster. I love monsters. I'm doing all of this from the perspective of Invasion Fleet, although I really do feel like there's a great home for this inside of Crusher Stampede. So he's a monster. 8 inches move, which is not great. A lot of monsters move 10. A lot of the big ones move 10. Tough 11, which is pretty standard because it's only the Tyrannifex. That's tough 12. 3 plus save. It's not great, but it's pretty good because it's not a Norn or a Tyrant. 14 wounds, which is about average. The Norns and the Tyrannifexes are rocking the 16. 8 plus leadership, which is going to be okay because maybe he's in Synapse. 4 OC, which is okay. So not terrible, but also not great in my opinion. So the Toxicrene is a infantry killer, total infantry killer. So ranged weapons, massive toxin lashes, anti-infantry 2+. Okay, so it's going to be a 2+ in order to wound them. So that's pretty good. Range 9 inches. That's more than what you think it is because you got to remember his base is big. 2d6 attacks. That's not bad. um, 3+ ballistic skill. That's the better side of average. It's not a 2+, but hey, what is? Okay, the strength 6. Remember, the anti-infantry 2+ means he's wounding all infantries on 2+. So whatever you can get to make his ballistic skill better is really going to help you out there because remember in Crusher Stampede, if he's below starting strength, he gets a +1 to hit. So that would put him in the 2+ range. So that's probably Crusher Stampede is probably better, but I am doing everything from Invasion Fleet standpoint. Strength 6, so that would matter if you're not fighting infantry. -1 AP, not great. Volume of attacks is what you're really going to want, and it's 2d6, so it could be swingy. 2 damage, so you'll kill Marines. That's just the range profile, though. So click it on over to the melee weapons profile. 12 attacks. That's good. Weapon skill 3. Remember, if he's Crusher and he's taking a little bit of damage, then that'll pop him to 2+. Strength 6. It's not going to matter against infantry because infantry 2+. Once again, it's the -1 AP that's going to hurt you there, but he will kill Marines. They say that you should stat everything to fight Marines. So with Marines, you do see tough 4 for regular Marines, tough 5 for Primaris, tough 6 for Terminators. So, keep all that stuff in mind. um, Going over to the abilities, Deadly Demise D3. So when he dies, you roll a D6. If you get a 6, he hurts stuff within 6 inches of him. D3's not a lot. Faction Synapse. That means he can receive Synapse. Keep in mind that right now Synapse is given a +1 to strength. That really doesn't matter. Strength for melee weapons. That really doesn't matter because strength 7 is not going to be a break point. Strength 8 would be a break point for anything tough 4, but strength 7 is not going to be a break point. So it doesn't really matter. Grasping Tendrils. Each time an enemy unit, excluding Titanic units, is within engagement range of one or more of these units from your army, with this ability and is selected to fall back, you can roll on a d6 on a 3+. That enemy unit must remain stationary. That's kind of cool. So if you know you're playing somebody who has fall back and shoot or fall back and charge, that might be an interesting trap, but it's really specific. Hypertoxic Miasma Aura. At the end of your movement phase, roll 1d6 for each enemy within 6 inches of this model. On a 2 to 3, that unit suffers 1 mortal wound. On a 4 to 5, that unit suffers d3 mortal wounds. On a d6, that unit suffers d6 mortal wounds. It's helpful. I don't think it's gonna save you. And so going into the keywords, monster, great devourer, toxicrene. Doesn't have a lot going on there. So this is kind of why I'm not a fan of the toxicrene. Also, just so you know, everyone who's ever talked about it says they are a nightmare to assemble, and it's because of all the tentacles that comes out of the front of it. So just be aware of that. They say it's a nightmare. Um, this is kind of adds up to why I don't like the Toxicrene. So the anti-infantry 2 sounds good. The number of attacks sounds good. But he doesn't have really anything that's saving you. Not over other models. So let me tell you what. I play Tyranids all the time. I play monsters all the time. Tough 11 sounds like a lot. It's not. Thermal spears, melta rifles, melta guns, melta cannons, melta anything is gonna melt you. I mean, it's just gonna go right through you. Which is why the Norn emissaries invulnerable save, so worth it. So worth it. Um, I can't say that enough. I can't say that enough. The invulnerable save is so worth it. And when they make, I know this is not about emissaries, but then when they make, when they make an objective, the reason why they were born, and they stand at an objective, and they're getting feel no pains, invulnerable save, protection against mortals. Point is, tough 11 sounds like a lot. It's not a lot. I mean, unless your opponent is just not ready. I just played an RTT tournament yesterday, and two of my opponents destroyed me with melted guns. Destroyed me. I won one of those games, but still, he had a lot of melted guns. Movement 8 is not a lot, and I know that 8 sounds a lot, and his base is big, but running two objectives or to the enemy, he's got to run to the enemy. And yeah, he does have a 9-inch range shooting attack, and that might put some hurt in. It just kind of depends. I mean, if you were playing an Imperial Guard army and they had a lot of guardsmen, maybe. If you're playing against orcs and they had a lot of orcs, maybe. Necrons, a lot of warriors, maybe. um, it just kind of depends. Um, the toxic miasma doesn't do enough, in my opinion. Um, it's good. If the damages were higher, I'd be happier with it. The grasping tendrils is so situational. I mean, you could play a dozen games and not run into anybody who has fall back and shoot or fall back and charge. It's so situational. The 14 wounds is okay. Um, the 3+ save is okay. I think for me, what it boils down to is he's not good enough to take over other things. He's not good enough to take over a Maliceptor. He's not good enough to take over Norn. Um, and the Haruspex is better at killing things than he is. So even though the Haruspex has no invulnerable, the Haruspex is a better killer. So I think that's kind of why I don't like Toxicrenes, why I don't take them. I don't have a big thing against them. And if you're a big Venom Toxicrene person, that's cool. Good for you. High Fleet Gorgon, I support you. But I don't have a spot for him when there's so many other things I could take with him. And even Invasion Fleet Rapid Regeneration is barely going to do anything for him. Um, yeah, I really feel like if you're going to take one Crusher Stampede is where you got to live. Um, that's just my feelings about it. So I'm not a big Toxicrene fan, but I just wanted to put some of that stuff in perspective for you guys and talk about them. Go ahead and check out the playlist. I do have, by the time I'm done, I'm going to have every model and every detachment a video about it. And I really enjoy talking 40K and talking Tyranids with you guys. So we here at the Dragon's Lair understand that you could spend your time anywhere. Thank you for spending your time here with us at the Dragon's Lair.